Hi! Thanks for joining me here at the Artlife YouTube channel today. I'm Mrs. B, I'm an art teacher and I love all things arty. Sorry, my dog's barking. Anyway, come with me today and we're gonna have a go at doing some scribble art. Then we're gonna turn our scribbles into a masterpiece because you know what? Really, anything can be art. So your artwork might look a little bit like this at the end, or maybe completely different, but I'll give you some steps to have fun with scribble art and create an artwork with me today. So grab your art materials, come along with me and we'll have some fun getting arty together. While I have you, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment below and ring the bell as well for notifications for future videos. For today's scribbly art lesson, you just need something colourful and a piece of white paper. I've got an array of different things here. I've got some really cool pastels, I've got some metallic pencils, some crayons and some bright textures. If you have this type of equipment at home, grab it all, but if you only have one of these, two of these things, that's completely fine too. So just grab something colourful, a piece of paper, and we'll get started in this fun, scribbly kind of lesson. Now, the purpose of today's lesson is to have a go at turning a mess into a masterpiece. That means that sometimes if we make a mistake, if we do something that's not quite right, rather than screw it up and start again, we want to try to see if we can turn it into something else or make it look like it was meant to be there the whole time. It's a really good problem solving and creative thinking practice. And we're going to have a little fun with it. So I want to introduce you into a really cool book by Peng and Hu. It's called Draw What You See. And the idea, as you can see, is that you're given some messes, some little blobs. They could even be considered little mistakes. But you need to use your creative mind to turn them into something that's not actually there. So, if you like, you can have a go at maybe creating some little blobs with your colours and then use a pen or a pencil to see if you can try to see what you can see. What I mean is, you could have a look at the blobs and turn it into something. For example, this here kind of looks like a Santa hat to me. So I'm going to draw Santa. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. There he is. This kind of looks like a shoe. So I might draw someone with some socks and some hairy legs. You could also turn your blobs upside down every which way. This is sort of an introductory, fun little task if you want to have a go at even getting your parents or a guardian or a big brother or sister to draw some fun little blobs for you, and you can have a go at drawing them and turning them into masterpieces or little pictures. So that's just an introduction. Now we're going to have a bit of a practice at scribbling or making a mess. So I'd love for you to grab a few colours of whatever drawing material you have. Doesn't matter which colours at all. And for about 2 minutes, I'm going to play you a bit of a funny playlist. Now the music might change a little bit, which might mean that you change the type of scribbles or type of lines that you're drawing. But just have fun with it, using only one piece of paper for now. Now the idea with this exercise is to not overthink what you're doing. Just scribble, pretty much. Draw lines, use colours, use them on top of each other, and make a mess. Are you ready? Set, go. I hope you had fun with that, because I did. Tell you what I loved is that there were no rules. All I could do was just scribble and draw lines and use colours. What fun. So you could choose, if you wanted to turn this into a bit of a picture, but this was really just a bit of a practice to get into the mode of doing some scribbles. So we don't really need this one anymore. Now what we're going to do is draw some scribbles again, but be a little bit more intentional. That means we're going to try to not take up the entire space, maybe just 4 or 5 groups of scribbles. And when you do it, scribble, 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 try and make them all look different. You could use straight lines for one, only straight lines. You could use only wobbly, circular, wavy lines for another one. These are all scribbles. Maybe for this next one, you could close your eyes. See what happens. I'm closing my eyes. Does it look good? Oh dear. That was pretty cool. I like that one the best, actually. Cool. So hopefully you have your 4 or 5 individual little colourful scribbles. Now what we're going to do with a black marker, if you have it, is now turn these messes into masterpieces. Just like we did with these draw where you can see kind of ideas, we're gonna then turn these into little characters. Of course, these characters are going to be pretty abstract. All we need to do to turn anything into a character really is bring it to life. So I'm going to add some arms. He needs some legs. And he needs some eyes. That's my funny guy. Now that's probably the minimum that you would draw to turn this mess into a masterpiece. I suggest going a little further though by adding details in the clothes. Maybe he's wearing a hat. Bring him to life by giving him a bit of a personality. There we go. Our mess is now actually a squibbly, wobbly kind of guy. Now, I don't want each of my scribbles to look exactly the same. So when I add details to the rest of my scribbles, I'm going to think about some things that I could do or some things that I could change to make each one a little bit unique. He's a funny one. Funny little details like hairy legs, big noses, spiky hair, all make each of your characters, each of your scribbles into a more interesting sort of character and masterpiece. And I suggest you try and mix it up as much as you can, adding as much detail as possible. There. So we've done some fun scribbles, added some eyes, nose, mouth, ears, hands, feet, things like that to turn them into little masterpieces. And now with any extra time you have, you can give them an environment or somewhere to live. Now this can be as simple as they could live in a jungle. You could just draw some trees around, or a park with some grass, or you could put them in a really fantastic, abstract, made up place. Maybe they live at the end of a rainbow. They can live wherever you want because it is your masterpiece. So keep going with your colouring materials. This time I'm going to swap to some crayons and put them somewhere really fun and interesting. If you'd prefer to draw this interesting place with a grey lead first, you absolutely can. So the background I've created is fairly simple. I've literally just done a rainbow with crayons and then I'm colouring the rest of the area in pink. However, what you might need to take note of is the fact that I'm not colouring in my characters. I'm leaving them white or the colour of the scribble just so that they stand out, but I'm colouring everywhere else. So you can also go back in and colour in each of these details, but I feel like leaving them white actually makes them stand out on the page. They look like a happy little family that are playing on the rainbow. I'm doing my very best to colour in as neatly as I can and fill my entire page full of colour. And it's amazing what we can do with some simple scribbles. Colouring behind something or creating a background behind something once you've already drawn it is tricky. So just do your best to try and colour behind as best you can, and don't be too worried if you've made a mistake, because this is all about trying to turn mistakes into masterpieces anyway. And the aim is definitely not to make your work look like mine. We want your work to look like yours. Ta-da! My little scribble family. I'll call him Bob. Their name is Susie. This is DJ. This is Silly Lee. And this is Crazy Arms. I just made that all up. But I hope you've enjoyed the task today. So it's as simple as that. Thanks for joining me here at the Artlife YouTube channel today, and I really hope you've enjoyed having fun with some scribbly messes, trying to turn them into masterpieces.